اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم قل هو اللہ احد اللہ الصمد لم یلد ولم یولد ولم یکن له کفوا احد. Thank you, Rifat Sahib, for organizing this the fourth webinar on this subject. اور آپ نے بہت محنت سے نیپرا ڈسٹریبیوشن کوڈ پہ پہلے بھی مختلف اس کے جو کوڈ ہیں اس پہ کیا ہے. میں ساتھ ساتھ تمام پارٹیسپینٹ کا جو ہم ہر مہینے جو ویبینار آرگنائز کر رہے ہیں، یہ اس سیریز کا یہ 5واں ویبینار ہے اور انشاءاللہ آئندہ یہ کنٹینیو ہوتا رہے گا. آئی ٹریپل ای پاور ٹریننگ سوسائٹی کا ایز اے چیئرمین کراچی سینٹر آپ تمام لوگوں کو خوش آمدید کہتا ہوں، اور ساتھ اب میں رفت صاحب سے ریکویسٹ کرتا ہوں کہ وہ اپنا سیشن شروع کریں. تھینک یو سر. اوور ٹو مسٹر رفت.
السلام علیکم. Morning, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Kyab Saab, and thank you very much, Rinta Saab, for providing me this opportunity. So far, we have conducted 3 sessions, and this will be the 4th one. And let us have a quick review what we have done so far. So this distribution code is comprised of 12 subcodes. So far, up to the 3 sessions, third session, we have completed 7 subcodes. And today, inshallah, we'll be covering 8th and the 9th subcode, which is system performance, reliability, and the consumer service requirement. And the 9th one is metering requirement. So let us start with the system performance, reliability, and the consumer service requirement. And to highlight the importance of this subject, this subcode is basically among the social objective of privatization. And this has given due importance by the NEPRA authority. Besides the distribution code, another performance code is also enacted by the NEPRA and is implemented since 2005 as well. So let us start with system performance, reliability, and the consumer service. So there are 2 main streams of this code. One is about the strategy, and the other one is about the operations of the distribution company. What this strategy part is telling us is to comply with all provisions, obligations, and requirements of the performance standards. And for this purpose, the NEPRA has enacted distribution performance and standards 2005. And these can further be subdivided into the guaranteed standards of performance known as GSS, and the other one is overall standards of the performance of service. And above all, the overall performance of the distribution company can be gauged in terms of the SEFI and the SEDI. SEFI is System Average Interruption Frequency Index, and the SEDI is System Average Interruption Duration Index. So this is a separate topic, and that can be covered in a separate, as a whole subject. And the other one is they provide guidelines for the smooth operation of the distribution system. So let us review this, what this means for us. Operations criteria and the principle. So we'll be first discussing the principle. The number one is the specified capacity and the design loading of specification. Number two, maintain the voltage and the frequency. Number three is the safety, quality, and reliability of supply. Number four is backup supply arrangement. Number five is restoration of supply. In continuation, we see how the load and the voltage monitoring control and the load balancing is carried out by the distributions. This is the guideline for the distribution companies. Number one, equipment loading criteria. Capacity of the feeder, standard capacity of the feeder, current carrying capacity, criteria for the planning. Of course, the feeder can carry load up to 300 amps, 400 amps, but while the planning, you plan for the 60% of the loading or 70% of the loading. This is what we have discussed in the planning subcode of the distribution company. Loading limits, number three is loading limits of all the distribution facility in accordance with IEC standards, manufacturer recommendations. Standby rating is not to be considered while designing and planning of the network and the limits of the equipment. And now the voltage monitoring and the control and the load balancing, of course. The defined voltage are 132, 66, 33, 11 kV for the substations on the primary side, and on the secondary side of the equipment is 33 kV. For the 33, it's 0.4 kV, and from the 11 kV side, it's 0.4 for the distribution transformer. And there are then methods for improvement of the voltage conditions. Proper earthing of the transformers, load on the LT feeders and balance load, reduce the length of the LT lines, reconnect 11 kV feeders because this is seasonal effect, reducing 11 kV feeder lengths, reconnecting the existing 11 kV conductors, 11 kV voltage regulators, etc. These are the methods outlined in the sub-distribution codes for the improvement of the voltage conditions within the network. Then there are power limitations for the power frequency voltage and the power factor as well. All the equipment connected in the network is capable of continuous uninterrupted operations. Sorry. The point two is supply power to each consumer within the frequency range of 50 hertz, and of course, plus minus 1% of the variation is allowed, and that comes out to be 0.5 hertz. And the power quality in accordance with the IEEE standards, which deals with the harmonics level. Voltage variation of 5% support distribution planning can be referred for this details as well. And the minimum power factor is 0.9. Support distribution planning can also be referred in this case as well. And then there are certain constraints defined while conducting the operations of this. Pre-engine shutdown to be avoided while during the month of May to the August. The pre-arranged shutdowns must be disallowed during the peak load hours, which means on the daily basis, the peak load comes out somewhere around Maghrib prayers and The morning load, of course, the industrial load as well around morning and start of the shift. Then communication between the system operator and the grid operator, availability of the transport in the working order, availability of the material, properly scheduled preventive maintenance, availability of the telephone attendants. Of course, the technology have greatly affected this phenomenon as well. We have social media into grid and your operator, system operators level as well. And this establishment of the training center in the field. Of course, this is not practice in Pakistan, but hotline working tools, training, testing, and road dispatch guideline is also provided for the hot working as well. So, although this is in very broader terms, but separate SOP is required for handling this hotline working tools as well. And then it is about the management of the outage planning. Proposed outage plans to be submitted to the NTDC and its users as well. DISCO shall ensure that its personnel are familiar with the NTDC requirement of the outage plan as listed below, but not limited to the following. Outage plan, what the outage plan submitted from the DISCO to the NTDC shall consist of a requirement of the NTDC restoration plan as well. In the event of restoration, what course of action will be followed? And the NTD test of the system restoration plan before conducting the restoration and what checks and testing is required. Total or the partial, in the event of the total or partial blackout of the transmission system or the region system, how this system will be restored by the NTDC and the distribution companies at the 132 kV level. All this is to be well informed. The staff should be well informed about. And about as well breakdown within its own system at the NTDC level and the distribution level, 132 level side. The staff and the personnel must be fully aware of the working of the NTDCAO and the distribution staff as well. And for the unplanned interruptions, okay, inform to the NTDC, the distribution company will inform to the NTDCAO, the users as well as soon as possible. And the perspective for the estimated time of restoration. And for this purpose, and if it is not a forced shutdown, it is unplanned, serve a 48 hours advance notice to the all applied consumers or the affected consumers. Now we switch over to the metering requirement of the distribution code. This is ninth of the subcode, and the purpose of this metering requirement for subcode is the licensee shall define conditions, obligations, and the operation responsibility, perform of the required metering at the point of connections. The licensee must specify the minimum technical design and the operational performance criteria for revenue metering for the purpose of electricity sales. For the purpose of settlement of the electrical energy activity, active and the reactive, supplied and delivered at each defined metering point, combined delivery points must be measured and recorded through metering equipment as well. This is a very important aspect, and this is uh, the point where the distribution companies and the NTDC and seller or the buyer enter into conflict with each other. So due care has been taken in this subcode and the conditions have been specified, and the responsibility has been specified for each seller and the buyer of the electricity. Now, seller and buyer of the electricity means the according to or the prospective restructuring plan of the uh, electricity market uh, by 2023. Economic autarky or the exclusive right within the geographical boundaries, the distribution companies not may not exist anymore. Every person, every individual, business to consumer may come into uh, apply for the license of the distribution company, O&M company, and the operator company. So there are different categories of the licenses which individual may apply or the businesses may apply for their own purposes and for their own business. Buy, sale, distribution to distribution, there may be uh, sale, purchase of the purchase agreement between the two distribution companies. There may be sale and purchase agreement between the generator and the distribution company, etc., and so on. So let us read. Meeting facility shall be installed at the point of connection between the applicant and the licensing network. Bulk supply consumers, the WAPDA distribution companies of the WAPDA or the now the independent distribution companies, they supplied bulk supply to the individual consumers, and a separate metering room is required as per the specification. And now this is also incorporated in this subcode as well, that a separate metering room is provided. Metering between the generator and the licensee network would be installed at the high voltage side of the outgoing busbar of the generating station. This is what is specified in the sub-distribution code. But there is also a provision that maybe the seller and the buyer they agree for some other location, but it should be incorporated into the said agreement between the two parties. In case of interdisco 132 or 11 tie line, metering shall be provided at the outgoing terminal of the existing grid station of the disco, mostly exporting power to the distribution companies. The location has already been specified at the distribution grid station of the distribution company. While the practice for the work supply consumers is that to provide them if they have even if they have their dedicated feeder is to have the meeting at the consumer end through as, as per their own specification. A separate room is provided by the consumer to the DISCO authorities. The licensee shall provide data logging type meter for all important data such as voltage, current, power factor, and kilowatt hour metering. This we will examine in the next slide as well. And for the purpose of temper and the revenue protection and foreseeing the future disputes between the seller and buyer, the authorized representative of the DISCO and the user shall supervise the meter installation. After completing the installation, the licensee representative and the user as observer shall lock the metering equipment in the room as well. So this last point is very important. and both sides should have the trained and the skilled persons to perform this kind of functions and record all the observations at the spot as well. Now the metering requirement. How we will implement and how we will exercise the whatever support requirements are. Metering shall provide accurate measurement of the electrical quantities delivered to or received from the electrical transmission substation, sub-transmission and distribution network. Metering device should be up to the required standard for calculation and measuring active reactive power, peak demand, power factor, etc. etc. Metering quantities shall be remotely delivered via SCADA central control station. Well, NTDC has this provision of this SCADA. Electric has the provision of this SCADA, and about rest of the distribution companies yet to be providing, yet to provide these SCADA facilities as well. Meeting facility shall be provided at the connection point between the user and the licensee to record energy and active power delivered or consumed for the purpose of billing, engineering, and planning. And there is a provision that metering data shall be made available to all users. Substation metering requirement. A meter shall be installed at secured location in the substation. The discos demand a separate metering room for this purpose, having exit, exclusive right of entry into the substation. Metering shall be installed in such a manner that they cannot be tampered. It should be properly sealed, signed by both the distribution company and the consumer representative as well. This is what we have discussed in the last slides. Meter shall be type approved as per specification of the IEC and approved by DISCO and K Electric standard and model. Before installation of meter, licensee must ensure that the meter is properly tested. Well, WAPDA have WAPDA distribution companies of the WAPDA and the K Electric, they have well-established testing laboratories as well. And even in the K Electric, they have provide the complaint of the consumer. They have the mobile testing facility, and they can go up to the consumer premises for the testing purpose as well, individual as well as for the bulk supply. Whatever level of the consumer is, they provide this facility. The licensee shall always provide install, test, calibrate, repair, and meter at user premises according to the required standards. Well, there is standard practice of replacing the meters of 3 years or 4 years after first put into the service. And in between, if there is some requirement of the repair, they can be done for the mobile service. Now the performance requirements. three-phase 4 wires and three-phase 3-wire configuration electronic digital with accuracy class of 0.2 from 0% to the 100% of the full scale is standard. So 0.2 accuracy class is standard for meeting purpose. Meters shall be capable of measuring and recording active and the reactive power, phase currents, and the phase voltage at 30-minute interval for a period of 70 days. This is important that you can even check in the retrospective effect as well. There may be a requirement that you want to check some reading 30 days or the 20 days before the final reading. So there must this the record must be kept. Meter meter billing period shall be programmable and can be programmed to automatically store and to collect the value and reset the counter for next billing period. Billing period as per the NAPRA standard is 30 days. Meter shall have internal time clock for time and date stamping of data. All these are the requirements of the performance requirements of the meter. Meter shall have provisions for remote meter reading by telemetry or SCADA by the SCADA. Meters shall have self-diagnostic capability and includes alarm to indicate the failures or the tampering as well. So the telemetering data collection system. This is also covered in the performance of the meters as well, metering as well. Facilities are to be provided by the user for remote transmission of the metering information to the licensee to be recorded in the metering database. Quantities to be measured shall include the following: apparent energy, real energy delivered to the load, energy received from the load, reactive energy, peak demand, or peak reactive demand. And finally, the power factor as well. Information in the database computer will be accessible for the billing, engineering studies, and the planning. So this was about the two supports we have concluded today. Two supports. One was the earlier one was system performance, reliability, and the consumer service requirements. And later on, we discussed what we concluded right now of the metering requirement. If you have any questions, so kindly raise the questions, and you'll be, inshallah, timely ordered. Thank you very much. Inshallah, remaining supports, I think 3 to 4 supports are remaining that we will be covering in the upcoming sessions, inshallah, as and when decided by the activity or society. Thank you very much. Shah Sahab, thank you very much. Sahir Sahab, thank you very much indeed for you, sir.
जी रफा साहब, thank you. Any few minutes for the question answer session if anybody has any question. وہ یا تو ابھی سوال کر لیں یا ہمیں ای میل کر دیں, ہم آپ کو پراپر جواب دے دیں گے. دوسرا, وہ لوگ جو سرٹیفکیٹ چاہتے ہیں فار دی یوز آف سی پی ڈی, انہیں 750 روپے جمع کرنے ہوں گے, اور کیا بولتے ہیں پھر ان کو سرٹیفکیٹ ایشو ہو جائے گا. تو اگر مزید سوالات نہیں ہیں یا بعد میں کوئی سوال آتے ہیں تو آپ ہمیں لکھ کے بھیج دیں. وی ول ریئلی اپریشیٹ فار دس. آئی تھینک یو رفت صاحب اینڈ آل پارٹیسپینٹ کہ انہوں نے شرکت کی, اپنا مصروف وقت نکالا, اور انشاءاللہ ہم نیکسٹ اگلے مہینے دوبارہ آرگنائز کریں گے, اور وہ پاور پروڈکٹ کے کسی سبجیکٹ پہ ہوگا انشاءاللہ. اس کے لیے ہم ایڈوانس سب کو انفارمیشن بھی دیں گے. So thank you Rafa Sahab and all the participants on behalf of
Sir, I am grateful to all of you and all the participants who attended this webinar. Thank you very
thank you.
much indeed.
اللہ حافظ.
Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.